On First at 9 this Monday, the 15th of September 2025. Overdue overhaul. President inaugurates long-delayed Petta bus stand renovation set for completion by April next year. GDP boost. Sri Lanka's economy grows 4.9% in Q2. GDP rises to 2.88 trillion. Energy divide. CEB restructuring continues amid trade union threats. Minister offers compensation for voluntary exits. Fragile confidence. Local firms show short-term confidence in financial system, but doubt long-term stability, outlines central bank survey.
Kalin baby soap රුපියල් 90කට. Kalin baby podi හැමෝටමයි.
From Derana, this is Derana First at 9. Live from Studio 24 in Colombo.
Good evening, you're joining First at 9, brought to you by Sri Lanka's most trusted news source, Derana. I'm Tharindu Mahendra, joining you live with the latest in Sri Lanka and around the world. In your top story this evening, the long-awaited renovation of the Petta Central Bus Stand was officially inaugurated today with a project cost of 425 million rupees under the government's Clean Sri Lanka initiative. This is the first time in 60 years that the central bus stand has undergone structural and service-related modifications. Speaking at the inauguration ceremony, Minister of Transport and Highways Bimal Ratnayaka disclosed plans to conclude the project by next April.
The Petta Central Bus Stand, serving as a vital transport hub for thousands of daily commuters, has long suffered the consequences of decades of neglect. Since its establishment in 1964, the facility has fallen into disrepair with crumbling infrastructure and substandard amenities failing to meet modern standards. In a bid to turn the tide, the government announced the launch of the long-awaited renovation project of the Petta Central Bus Stand under the Clean Sri Lanka initiative, with the project being spearheaded by the Ministry of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation, with further assistance from the Sri Lanka Air Force. The project aims to upgrade the bus stand's infrastructure, including improvements to the access roads, bus bays, passenger waiting areas, restrooms for drivers and conductors, administrative buildings and drainage and sanitation systems. The cost of the renovation project, initiated after 6 decades, is estimated at 425 million rupees. The project was officially inaugurated today under the patronage of President Anura Disanayaka.
යන බොහෝ දෙනාට අවශ්‍ය කරන ශක්තිය ලබා දෙන තැනක්. ඒ ශක්තිය මේ රට පුරාම අරගෙන යන්න නම් රටට අවශ්‍ය කරන යාන්ත්‍රණීය ක්‍රියාත්මක වීමේ උවමනාව මේ බිමේ පැවතිය යුතු නම්
ජනාධිපතිතුමා ඉස්සරහා පොරොන්දු විදියට අපේ සලස්ම තිබෙන්නේ සිංහල දෙමළ අලුත් අවුරුද්ද වෙනකොට මේ.
As the president said, we are planning to complete and hand over the fully renovated Petta Central Bus Stand to the public by the next Sinhala and Tamil New Year. According to the joint plans developed by the ministry and the Sri Lanka Air Force, the existing structure will not be demolished entirely, but instead modifications will be carried out within the current framework. A central objective of this project is to transform the terminal into a social space, one that encourages free movement. In terms of long-term upkeep, we have requested the continued assistance of the Air Force to ensure regular maintenance. While renovation is challenging in itself, maintaining these improvements possesses a more Herculean challenge. This is where the responsibility must be shared, not only by the state officials but also by the public. This project must be managed in a scientific manner. We are also working to expand the scope of services available at the bus stand by providing real-time information on train and flight schedules. As part of the broader infrastructure upgrade, the restrooms designated for bus drivers and conductors will be refurbished to meet higher standards of comfort and hygiene. Further, we plan to establish 15 multimodal transportation hubs across the country, integrating services for buses, three-wheelers and taxis.
බහුවිධ ප්‍රවාහන මධ්‍යස්ථාන 15ක් අපි ලබන අවුරුද්දේ ආරම්භ කරන්න පටන් ගන්නවා.
Following the inauguration, the president engaged in a tour of inspection at the Petta bus stand. In a similar development, the renovation of the Maradana railway station too was inaugurated today under the patronage of President Anura Disanayaka. The project is part of both the Clean Sri Lanka and Dream Destination initiatives. Following the launch of the renovation project, President Disanayaka engaged in a tour of inspection at the station, including the office of the station master and other key areas. A new Sinhala font named Druhunu Kumari, unique to the railway department, was also introduced at the event.
ඔයාගේ හීන ලන්තයට අපිත් එක්ක යන්න අදම සනස ලයිෆ් එක ඉන්ෂුවර් වෙන්න.
Ceylon Electricity Board employees unions are threatening to escalate the trade union action launched in opposition of the restructuring of the state power supplier with a possible strike action on September 21st. However, Minister of Energy Kumara Jayakodi asserts that the union's demands are unreasonable given that employees who wish to resign rather than join the 4 state-owned entities which are to replace the CEB have been offered adequate compensation.
Under the ongoing restructuring of the Ceylon Electricity Board, the national power supplier is to be divided into 6 separate state-owned entities.
There will be 4 main entities for generation, transmission, distribution and system control. Even though there will be 4 separate entities, they will still be owned by the government. We have notified CEB employees as to which entity they will be recruited to. Those who do not wish to join can voluntarily resign. All those who decide to resign are eligible to receive compensation of up to 5 million rupees.
However, CEB trade unions, which opposed the move, launched a Work to Rule campaign from September 4th. Although the first phase of the campaign is set to conclude at midnight tonight, the union said they will escalate the industrial action in view of the lack of positive response from the government regarding their concerns.
The
first phase of the Work to Rule campaign initiated by all CEB employees on the 4th of this month ends at midnight tonight. There has been no positive response from the government in this regard as yet. Because of the lack of response, all CEB employees, including engineers, will withdraw from external duties such as positions in tender boards and district coordination committees after midnight tonight. We advise the government not to take this lightly. Do not be prideful. Engage in discussions to prevent the 7.2 million electricity consumers from being inconvenienced. The authorities have until tomorrow to hold discussions with us. Otherwise, a massive protest will be staged in Colombo with the participation of the 21,800 CEB employees. If the government fails to provide a positive response, we will definitely launch a strike action after September 21st. Otherwise, a massive protest will be staged in Colombo on the 17th and 18th of September with the participation of the 21,800 CEB employees. If the government fails to provide a positive response, we will definitely launch a strike action after September 21st.
However, the Energy Minister rejects the union's claims that authorities refuse to engage in discussion.
False claims have been made that discussions weren't granted. I convened all these unions for a discussion on September 2nd. There we provided answers for many issues. After the discussion on September 3rd, we received another statement with a fresh set of demands. Providing the amount of compensation demanded is so impractical that it may require the permanent closure of the electricity board. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya assures that the current government will not exert any influence that could compromise the independence of the police. She made this remark while attending the closing ceremony of the police interdivisional athletic meet yesterday.
The closing ceremony of the 84th Police Interdivisional Athletic Meet was held yesterday under the patronage of Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya. The event took place at the Police Field Force Headquarters Stadium in Colombo. Approximately 3,300 police athletes participated in the tournament. The Police Special Task Force emerged as the overall champions, while the Criminal Investigation Department secured the runners-up position.
It is a matter of pride that the police is a respected state institution which has produced many athletes who have competed at both national and international levels. We have recognized that sports significantly contribute to maintaining the physical and mental well-being of our officers. We are implementing strategic measures to eliminate crime, road accidents and corruption in the country. One of the challenges we face is a shortage of personnel in areas such as Jaffna, Ampara and Colombo.
The independence and efficiency of the police department are key indicators by which society perceives the application of the rule of law. There was once a prevailing public perception that police services could not be accused without political or other forms of social influence or bribery. Your discipline, adherence to the law, and fairness in executing your duties are crucial, and I am confident that positive change is already underway. In the past, some officers were under immense pressure due to political interference and a lack of proper recognition. The current government will not interfere in any way with the operations of the police. The intention of our government is to ensure that the police service becomes more efficient, independent, and people-friendly.
හොඳම ෆෝන් එකක් ගන්න. ළඟම අපාන්ස් එකට යන්න.
Another house believed to have been used by underworld figures Kehel Baddara Padme and Kudune Lanka for manufacturing methamphetamine was uncovered in Mayurapura Hambantota by the Kalutara District Crime Division. In the meantime, the attorneys of former Pradeshya Sabha member Sampath Manamperi, who was named a suspect by investigators in connection with the recent drug bust in Middaniya, informed the Court of Appeal today that Manamperi is prepared to surrender to court.
On September 5th, officers of the Western North Crime Division uncovered around 50,000 kilograms of chemical substances believed to be used in production of crystal methamphetamine during an inspection of a plot of land in Middaniya. Following analysis, the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board reported that 17 of the 20 chemical samples collected from the location were confirmed to be those used in the production of crystal methamphetamine. Meanwhile, Sampath Manamperi, a former Angunakala Palassa Pradeshya Sabha member of Sri Lanka Pudujana Peramuna, who has been named a suspect in connection with the drug bust in Middaniya and is currently evading arrest, filed a writ petition with the Court of Appeal, which was called before a two-member bench comprising Justices Rohantha Abesurya and Priyantha Fernando today. The petition sought an order to investigating officers to prevent Manamperi from being subjected to torture and harassment while he was being sought for arrest. The respondents named in the petition were Inspector General of Police Priyantha Veerasurya, Director of the Western North Crime Division, Assistant Superintendent of Police Rohan Olugala, and Officer in Charge Chief Inspector Linton Silva. The counsellor for Sampath Manamperi claimed in court that the petitioner's brother, P.L. Manamperi, who was arrested in connection with the 2 containers of chemicals allegedly used to manufacture crystal methamphetamine in Middaniya, had been subjected to severe torture in custody. The attorney stated that the petitioner was ready to fully cooperate with the investigation and that Sampath Manamperi was ready to surrender to the appropriate magistrate's court. However, the attorney further informed the court of his client's fear that investigating officers could torture him while in custody. Having considered the facts presented, the bench ordered the Inspector General of Police to take all necessary measures to ensure the safety of the petitioner Sampath Manamperi during investigations. Meanwhile, another house believed to have been used to manufacture crystal methamphetamine was discovered in Mayurapura Hambantota by the Kalutara District Crime Division. It is reported that one of the rooms of the house had been turned into a laboratory. The items found in it included 52 litres of chemicals suspected to have been used for narcotic production, 4 white iron cauldrons, 6 plastic buckets, and several other items suspected of being used in the production of narcotics. A vehicle suspected to have been used to transport crystal methamphetamine was also taken into police custody. The discovery was made following information revealed by Ambelipitiya Suranga, a close associate of Kudune Lanka, who also revealed details of a 20-year-old resident in Vallavaya. The 20-year-old suspect, who was arrested by the police, revealed that he was present during narcotic production in the house. The suspect further revealed that 3 Iranian nationals manufactured crystal methamphetamine in the house in question and that he had sold around 14 kilograms of the drug to a group of underworld figures affiliated with Kehel Baddara Padme. The suspect claimed that the 3 Iranian nationals have already fled the country.
Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa accuses the government of suppressing the opposition's voice in parliament, preventing them from raising the people's issues in the legislature. He made this claim while participating in a public meeting in Kabitigollava.
As part of the opposition leaders' mobile service themed village to village, door to door, opposition leader Sajith Premadasa conducted a special inquiry into the issues faced by farmers in Kabitigollava area of Anuradhapura. During the public meeting, local farmers presented their grievances and concerns to the opposition leader. We heard how during the election the current government promised to install electric fences to protect farmlands. Today, however, the government is simply putting on a show while the people of this country watch watch on helplessly. Didn't the minister promise to protect farmers and uphold their rights? And where is the All Ceylon Farmers Federation now? Let me be clear, we are ready to battle, not for show or political gain, but to genuinely listen to people's issues and work towards real solutions, especially within Parliament. Unfortunately, the space to speak freely in Parliament has been drastically limited. Why? Because we, as the opposition, raises our voices on behalf of the people. You may have seen on the news, when we attempt to ask questions, our microphones are switched off. What a disgraceful act. Instead of silencing those who speak for the people, the government should be listening carefully and responding with meaningful, correct and practical actions, not just empty words. Yet when I ask questions in Parliament, the answers I receive, if any, are neither adequate nor sincere.
Leader of Sarvajana Bale, MP Dilith Jayavira emphasises that Sri Lanka's education system must evolve to match the trends of the modern world. He made these remarks while attending a ceremony in Colombo today.
The certificate awarding ceremony for after O-level courses, a program conducted under the Upgrade Your Values scholarship program, which aims to provide professional development opportunities for students who have completed the ordinary level examination, was held today at the BMICH in Colombo. The event was presided over by leader of the Sarvajana Bale, MP Dilith Jayavira. School education is essential. However, in my view, the traditional education system must evolve to meet the needs and trends of today's world. The existing system is outdated and no longer suitable for our country. It often fails to bring out the true potential of our students. Never miss an opportunity in life, seize them. Have the energy and determination to move forward. We are seeing a growing number of young people coming to us looking for jobs. Unlike in the past, most of them are university graduates. But still, we are unable to offer them jobs, not because they lack academic qualifications, but because they lack experience. This is a serious issue that must be addressed. That is why I invite you to embrace this learning opportunity. No matter how much theoretical knowledge you have, practical knowledge is essential.
With that, here's a look at thoughts shared by political figures on the repealing of the president's entitlements.
My understanding was that this act was introduced to repeal the privileges of all former presidents. Yet it now appears as if this legislation is being selectively enforced, particularly to curtail the entitlements of Mahinda Rajapaksa. Instead of repealing executive powers one by one, it would be better to abolish the executive presidency altogether. That said, if repealing these entitlements results in significant savings, the government should redirect those funds to reduce fertilizer prices, purchase rice stocks and lower taxes. This is not a decision aimed specifically at former President Mahinda Rajapaksa. These provisions apply to all retired presidents and to those who will retire in the future. There are deliberate efforts by some to misrepresent this move. Our actions are firmly grounded in the public mandate and not driven by personal or political agendas. We have not removed the security provisions granted to former president through the 1978 Constitution. Importantly, this law will also apply to the current president upon his retirement. These reductions were made as per the clear mandate given by the public to eliminate unnecessary and excessive entitlements. What other country weave the entitlements of their president with such hypocrisy? All of these leaders have made considerable sacrifices to bring the country to its current state. Now there is even discussions about slashing the benefits of parliamentarians. Such measures risk discouraging capable individuals from entering public service or politics in the future. In the past, political powers were often used as means to accumulate personal wealth. Today, we are working to transform that culture into a political system that truly serves the people. We categorically reject any individual or ideology that seeks to exploit politics for personal gain. As part of this effort, we are also actively pursuing legislation to retroactively reduce parliamentarians' pensions.
With that, here's a look at more local news across the island in brief.
The Department of Meteorology warns that the heat index is likely to increase up to caution level at some places in northern, north-central, eastern and northwestern provinces and in districts including Colombo, Gampa, Hambantota and Monaragal tomorrow. In the meantime, the Ministry of Fisheries, Aquatic and Ocean Resources issued a gazette notification banning the import and sale of 4 invasive ornamental fish species including piranha, knife fish, alligator gar and red line. According to the notification, breeding, releasing the fish species into water systems, transporting, purchasing, selling or displaying for sale, processing, importing and exporting are banned. Meanwhile, Sri Lanka Army personnel have been deployed to help control the forest fire that broke out in the Nonpare reserve in Balangoda. The fire, which has been raging for several days, is reported to have already destroyed over 1,000 acres of land. Although strong winds in the area have made it difficult to fully contain the fire, it is reported that some progress has been made in bringing the blaze under control.
Welcome back. The Sri Lankan economy has posted growth of 4.9% during the second quarter of this year, marking the 8th consecutive quarter of positive economic growth. According to the Statistics Office, GDP at constant prices rose to 2.88 trillion rupees in the April to June period, up from 2.74 trillion rupees in the same period of 2024. Industrial activities contributed to GDP expansion by 5.8%, services by 3.9% and agriculture by 2%. The improvement is attributed to favourable economic conditions, including lower interest rates and the lifting of vehicle import restrictions. The Statistics Office said second quarter expansion helped bolster key sectors of wholesale and retail trade, transport and warehousing, financial and insurance services and tax revenue. Additionally, traditional growth drivers like construction and mining and quarrying showed notable expansion, while manufacturing activities reported moderate gains. The central bank's latest systemic risk survey shows that local firms are more confident about the financial system in the short term but remain cautious about the medium-term outlook. The survey also highlights rising global risks driven by geopolitical tensions and a weaker international economic climate.
The systematic risk survey was conducted by the central bank between June 27th and July 20th, with 146 firms taking part. The survey measured overall confidence in the financial system, identified potential risk and assessed the likelihood of those risks materializing. According to the findings, businesses are showing stronger short-term confidence compared to the previous survey. However, in the medium term, confidence has weakened slightly. The report points to a sharp rise in global macroeconomic risk fueled by intensifying geopolitical tensions and a fragile global outlook. Respondents also note that while the probability of a major negative event has declined in the short term, the risk has edged higher over the medium term. Meanwhile, the central bank confirmed that the new 2,000 rupee note issued on August 29th to mark Sri Lanka's 75th independence anniversary will be gradually released into circulation. The note is also the first to carry the signature of President Anura Dissanayake. Licensed commercial banks are now calibrating their systems to ensure smooth acceptance and dispensing of the new currency.
The Colombo bourse closed in negative territory today as a result of price losses in counters such as Commercial, Sampath and DFCC. The benchmark ASPI lost 1.25% to close at 20,355.39, while the more liquid S&P Sri Lanka 20 shed 1.26% to end at 5,798.84. Market turnover was 4.06 billion rupees. Foreign participation in market activity remained at subdued levels, with foreigners closing as net sellers, offloading shares worth 80 million rupees. And that's all from us here at First at 9 tonight. Thank you for joining. Have a great night.